yogis, it's Steph. Today's tutorial is a little bit about tripod headstand. I've often been asked about how to do headstand. Friends, people on the website, people on Instagram. Obviously all teachers have their own means of working into headstand, and some teachers are really biased against teaching it altogether, and that comes down to the risk of injury. Sometimes yogis want to rush into these peak poses like Pinchamayurasana, like handstand, and they may not necessarily have the tools to get into those postures safely. Headstand is about not so much putting your weight into the head and solely into the head, it's about evening it out across the whole body. So when we think inversions, it's not about just putting all the weight into the upper body and then just letting the legs flail around. It's about lifting up and away, setting the foundation from the base, and then lifting up with the legs, the hips, the abdominals, the chest, to draw the legs up towards the ceiling. So it's a whole body workout, and we need to tone every aspect of the body to get there. So in tripod position, we come down onto the crown of the head, and the thing where we fear about going into inversions is actually getting upside down. Stems from a lot of childhood problems. I know for me, I was really afraid going upside down. I remember falling off monkey bars once, and it totally set me off. I didn't want to do any inversion ever again. And then I found yoga, and I slowly built a bit more trust back up. So to get into a headstand and to work on the foundations, we start with just bringing the weight into the head. We want about 30% to 70%. So 70% hands, 30 to the head. So it's distributed more to the upper body and not the head. And we obviously do that to avoid compression in the neck, the upper spine, and obviously so that you can go up safely. Primarily when you're learning, you just want to feel the weight on the head because it's really unnatural. It's not something we do very often, and it can be quite scary. So let's start nice and safely. Hands down onto the mat, shoulder distance. I love shoulder distance apart. Bringing the weight onto the crown of the head. So you just want to check into your alignment. Make sure the fingers are curling back in towards the face. Elbows stacked directly above the wrists. And then there's that even L shape back towards your shoulder. So simply staying here. This might be enough for you, and you might think, okay, I've had enough here, that's all I want to do. Come back to a child pose and have a rest. If you like to try something a bit more, taking the hands down, coming back onto the crown of the head, wrapping those elbows in, maybe tucking the toes under, lifting the kneecaps up, straightening into the backs of the legs, and walking the feet in a little, drawing them high, hips drawing high, holding here. So just taking around 4 breaths at least. And then when you're ready to come down, knees to the mat, and come back to your child pose, forehead to the mat, hands by the feet. Slowly rising the head, come back to your Vajrasana and just take a rest. It's good to take a break between inversions. It's good not to practice them one after the other. You can get quite tired, and also just the feeling of being upside down can be quite overwhelming for some people. So if you really focused on getting to that pose, please be mindful to take a break, hello Monty, and go there mindfully. That's the biggest lesson in yoga, being mindful in your practice. Next step. When you want to come up and take into the balance. So we're going similar to our crane pose that we've done in a previous tutorial. Taking the hands down, this one's called baby crane. You might know it by a different name, but I know it by baby crane, or even tripod egg actually. Bringing the head back down to the mat, crown of the head drawing down. Tuck those toes under, bringing the weight into the hands and the head. Walk the feet in nice and close. So you'll really feel like you're lifting up, and you might even feel like you're going to tip over, but that's okay. Bringing one knee at a time onto the tricep. And bringing the big toes together. So this one, baby crane, baby bird, or tripod egg pose, is your halfway point. So this is good for your beginners when you're finding the foundation, finding that weight into the crown of the head, and just learning to balance, holding yourself there. 2 more deep breaths. Use the exhale to step the feet back to your mat. Knees draw down. Lift the head up slightly to come back to your child pose, forehead down, hands by the feet. Empty the breath, letting go. And then slowly, after a few breaths, coming back to kneeling, letting the head adjust, and coming back to your neutral position. So that's your foundation step. When you're ready to progress again, it's about getting the legs up. Now, I teach to come up with control. I know people want to rush into these poses and want to kick their legs up. It's good to practice near a wall. Having the wall there is your backup. I wouldn't totally rely on it, but it's good to be able to tap your feet against the wall if you need to. So tripod, coming up to the full headstand. Hands ground down, shoulder distance. Crown of the head, draw it down. Tucking the toes under, walk the feet in. So we're coming back to that little tripod shape. The little egg, tucking the knees onto the triceps and big toes together. Press the floor away with the hands. It'll help to lever the hips higher, drawing up over towards the line of the head. Deepen your breath, holding. And this is your part where your core starts to work. So we press the floor away with the hands. Squeeze the belly in, lift the knees up, holding here. So keep it all tucked in, nice little shape. Deep breath. Good, and maybe draw the knees back onto triceps. If you want to do a little more, press the floor away, tuck the knees up, thighs to the chest. And maybe straighten the legs up. Bringing the heels back behind you this time, holding. You can tap the wall if you need to. Exhale, knees draw down. Take a little rest. Child pose. And coming back up. So the final example I'll give you is going up to the full pose. So we continue through those stages, bringing the knees in towards the chest and taking them up off the weight of the triceps. Then it's about drawing the thighs up, bringing the knees over the line of the hips and the feet back behind you. From then, we lengthen the shins, calves up towards the ceiling, toes point to ceiling, and come to the full posture. So it's about going in stages, remembering your wall is there. It's there as your safety net. Don't feel afraid about being in the posture. It's all about your breath and being calm. So if you can be calm, smooth inhale to exhale, you won't go anywhere. Let's face it, we're not leaving the floor. We are still on Mother Earth, grounded to your mat. You are safe, okay? Coming down, hands ground to your mat. Bring the crown of the head down. Walking those feet close. Coming back to your egg shape. Holding here. And then coming up in stages. Squeeze the belly in, lift the knees up, holding. Good, inhale, raise the knees up, toes back behind you. Remember, wall is there. And then keep pressing the floor away with the hands. Maybe lengthen the legs up towards the ceiling. Driving through the toes, lifting up and away. Pull the kneecaps up. Squeeze the glute muscles on. Activate the thighs. And then to come out, knees back in. Curl the knees back into the chest, thighs to chest. Knees onto triceps. And then exhale, toes to the mat. Knees to the mat. And child pose, rest down. Taking a couple more breaths here. Take as long as you like in your relaxation. It's really important to help reset the brain. Having put pressure onto the top of the head can feel really unnatural. So I hope that was really helpful to you. It's the way I learned to do the practice. Everyone has their own means of practicing and their own techniques, and that's totally fine. We're all individual and unique in that way. I like to work on the core control because it saves you kicking up and potentially overbalancing in your posture and then putting unnecessary tension onto your head, neck, shoulders, and anywhere else. Your spine is vital to you standing, walking, doing everything you do, and I wouldn't want you to do something unsafe. So please move mindfully. It takes time. I know for headstand, for me, it took months of practice, and then I eventually got it and was more confident enough to go up and do it myself. And it all comes down to confidence. If you're super nervous, and I know I have always been growing up, a wall was my best friend. If you're quite confident and keen to get straight into there, you might like to practice in the middle of the room, but please do so mindfully. I hope these techniques were helpful to you. If you have any questions, leave a message on my website, and hope to see you next time. Thanks, yogis. Namaste.